All right, we're back, and I have been working on this "Can You Hack It" website nonstop. I just talked to my friend, and uh, he said that if I get it up to high enough or whatever, he'll see if he can get me an interview. So I was like, I'm gonna go buck wild on this. But so good news, I'm at 1,035 points. Supposedly, I'm an expert hacker. I don't know what that means. Anyways, they changed their. I guess this website changed their badges, so they actually have a badging system now. So I guess if you get 400 points, you're a hacker. If you get 700 or more, you're an expert hacker. If you get 1,500 or more, you're a 1337 hacker. And if you get 2,500, you're an absolute legend. So um, just want to give you an update. Yeah, I'm at 1,035. I just finished the networking one, and I'll show you how I did that. But I guess the last video I did these two, so I showed you how to do those two. Programming, happy birthday. So um, I couldn't make a video for each and every one of these live because that would take too long, and um, I don't have enough time. So and then that would just be a ton of videos. So I decided, well, I'm just gonna do as much as I can, and then I'll show you maybe the last one I did, and then I'll go over each one of these on how I solved them. Instead of showing you the answers, I'll show you basically my thought process and how I worked through them. So this birthday one, there was a button that said, you know, okay, well, it's still the same. So this challenge can only be solved on my birthday. And there was a button where you click it, and it says, after you click it, it'll say, that's not my birthday, right? So what do? So you go to the back code, right? So, you open up inspect, and you're looking at this code, and you go to your sources, and there's a number of, you're going to try to find where that button clicks, and you want to see the answer, like what that is inputting, right? So it's just the same as all these other ones. You're looking at the answer, right, of what you're submitting. You debug and you pause it, and this one was submitting the today's date. So I said, okay, so today's date is it's submitting the answer. I already know from previous videos on these ones, these weird inputs for the client side protections, how to change the answer, right, and submit a different answer. So it's basically the same as the previous video, and the only thing different is that there's a hashed birthday birthday date in there. So you have to find um, the somewhere in the code in there. That's going to be you. You have to find it. There's a hashed birthday, right? And since it's a date, okay, that's easy to crack, right? So I use CrackStation. In CrackStation, I just entered in the hash, right? I'm not a robot. Crack hashes, and this is at crackstation.net. Okay, or and you can use any hash cracker, and it came out a new date. So then it came out a different date. I think his birthday was January 6th, 1982. And then so you enter that in your answer because we already know how to change our answers and submit them, and then you just submit it, and boom, it's solved. and it actually is his birthday. So that one was easy. Um, so now we're getting into the hard ones. So this 251, this tile slider. This one had, I don't know if you remember, it had a matrix with an X and then a 1 through 24 numbers, right? And every time you move that X over, it moved all the tiles over to the left or one or to the right one or up one, down one. Okay, so what I did was, and I had two options. I could write a Python script that did that for me, and then pumped out left, right, left, right. So basically, you can write a Python script where you enter in your puzzle, okay, and then you see how the numbers move left or right, right. So you're from your X point when you move. If your X point starts at this and you move it over, you know what it's going to do to the rest of the numbers. You're trying to get I'm assuming, okay, that these puzzles you want to get it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order, your numbers, right? So I mean that's what that was. And so I just googled slide tile um, um, slide tile puzzle Python solving code, and sure enough, people have written Python code to solve these puzzles. Now, all I did was I took one of their codes, and you got to understand this. This is not going to be the same code to solve this puzzle, but I took one of their codes and got a baseline of what they were doing to figure it out. And it's basically what I thought, right? You know, you're gonna move it over to the left or to the right, and all your digits are gonna move. And so, but I didn't. I'm like, I'm not gonna spend what a week writing this, or 2 days writing this, or a day writing this. So I basically just modified somebody else's code for about 4 or 5 hours. It was one day working on it, and ran it a bunch of times and got it to work. So boom, and it gave me. And then you get your sequence of left, right, up, down, or whatever. And I just copied and pasted it, put it in here, and it worked. It moved all the numbers in sequential order, and that's what that does. That's how you solve that. So if you're not going to be able to solve that without knowing how to program. That's why it's in programming. You're not going to be able to solve this without knowing some kind of programming. You're gonna have to write a program to do that. Now I haven't done the rest of these because this one I googled it. Nobody has any code for it, or if they do, I can't find any. So I'm gonna have to probably make this one from scratch. It's gonna be really hard. I mean, it's gonna take a long time. So I'm saving these for last, and then this one I just barely looked at it. I haven't really. Okay, so this networking one, I finished the networking, and I just finished this one today, and I'm gonna show you how I did this one live. Basic networking, I already showed you that one. I haven't even looked at any of these reverse engineering ones yet. I'm probably gonna go for this one, this debug me, because it's 500. That way I can get up to a 1337 hacker. Okay, steganography, frequency analysis. This one too. Okay. This one, this hidden pictures one's killing me. Okay, so this frequency analysis, this one, how I solved it was the same thing. I went and I downloaded like 3 different tools, ran it through it, wasn't doing anything. Was outputting a bunch of garbage, and then I was, hexadecimal, whatever, and I was putting that into Cyber Shelf and all kinds of stuff. Still wasn't working. So I was like, man, maybe okay, so maybe it's not powerful enough or something, my VM or whatever. So I'm gonna have to look for some Python code, right? And sure enough, somebody has written a frequency analysis decoder and message decoder, right? You have to type in steganography frequency analysis decoder in Python, right? And sure enough, somebody wrote one. So then so I downloaded it. Of course, it's not going to work because it doesn't. It's not the same code to do this. But you got to mess with it. If you mess with it enough, and you change values and variables and stuff like that, and then you'll get it to work. I mean, it's easy. This one was kind of easy, and then I ran it through it, and voila, 25 more points. Okay, this 251 ransom, same thing. This one, this one's the same thing. Uh, this one was hard because I had to Google. Okay, so oh no, our files have been removed. Here are the most important files. So this one had a zipped file. Okay, and it had a zip file and it had some other stuff. So what you do is you look for code to decode zip files and what I can't remember what it was, and you do the same thing there. You modify the code to unzip and decode the file that you had. Forget for what file it was, and there you go. It'll unzip it, decode it, and people have all this stuff written. You just have to change it enough to get it to where it'll work for you. Because some people will write it with different files in mind. Some people will write it, of course, in a different path. I mean, you're not gonna have the same path as them. So you gotta be able to change the code enough to make it work for you. And this one took me another day. So each one of these big ones took a whole day because I had to look at the code. I had to find the Python code. First I tried to attempt to write the code myself, and then I realized that was going to take way too long. I'd still be on the second one right now. So then when I couldn't, because I was figuring it might be easy, simple to do it, and then when I realized it was going to take too long, I started looking for other people that have written them, type of the different, what I think I'm looking for, or what I think I'm trying to write, and sure enough, people have them or have at least partial code. And you gotta cut and paste, or you gotta copy from different codes, and put it all together and figure it out. Okay, and so that's what I had to do on this one. I had to take two different codes on this one and figure it out, and um, got it figured out. Okay, so that's how you gotta do it. This is all gonna be from code, from like any kind of code. It could be Python. I like Python. I like C sharp, C++, all that, but Python is better for this type of stuff because you don't have to compile it or anything. You just run that puppy, and it's just fast. Okay, so this XOR, same thing. I tried to run this in CyberChef, and CyberChef doesn't have enough power, or I mean, it's going off of my browser, so it's not going to have enough power. CyberChef, I think, went up to 3, and this one wanted a 6-digit XOR in decryption, right? And if you don't know what that means, if you don't know what any of this stuff means, you're gonna have to look at this website yourself, and then look at what it's asking you, and then or Google it or whatever, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Because all this stuff, I had to, I was solving it. I could, I didn't want to make a bunch of videos on it, but this one here, this XOR one, what I did was I looked up XOR decoder, 6-digit decoder, in Python code, and sure enough, somebody wrote an XOR decoder that was able to go up to 6 digits. And this one actually, I didn't have to change a lot of stuff. This one actually, I think all I had to do was change a little bit of stuff. I didn't have. This one was quick. I copied, pasted into my PyCharm, and I was able to decode this quick without changing too much stuff, because it's an XOR. It's a basic XOR decryptor, Python program. There's hundreds and thousands of them probably out there that people wrote, And so I found one, and it was pretty easy. So that's what you got to do. You got to look up, and if you and you're not going to be able to solve these. So when you start getting into these where I'm at now, okay, you're not going to be able to solve them. You know, like ransom, this XOR one. You're not going to be able to solve them unless you like this XOR one. You're going to have a powerful VM because it's not going to go up to digits to decode. Maybe I don't know. I didn't even try it on my VM. I don't think so, but you're not going to be able to. I mean, unless you have a good computer, they can. You know, your tools are not going to tools ain't going to be able to work right. They're already written. So you're gonna have to have like um, you know a really good computer that can where you can actually run a lot of CPU power. Because you're not going to be able to do these in like with like Cyber Chef or all the tools online through the web, right? Because the it's just you're not going to be able to. There's not enough bandwidth, or I don't know, whatever. So you're going to have to write the smartest thing to do is what I would think is try to get some Python code and run this off of you know your CPU power off of or if you have a bare bones VM maybe or something like that. So you're gonna have to do something extra to do these big ones. You're gonna have to have an actual setup or strategy on how to do this with some CPU power. Um, yeah, because you're not doing this with a basic VM, Kali Linux VM, unless you have a lot of memory. I mean, a lot of CPU power allocated to it. Um, but then you're gonna have to have a lot of CPU power on your computer to do that too. So either way, you gotta have a good computer. Um, and just all these ransom ones too. So when you, on this website, you're not gonna get. In other words, you're not gonna get far unless you have a good computer. Okay, with some CPU power or something. You're not gonna do this off of no web browsers or basic tools. Um, I haven't looked at exploitation. Well, yeah, I have looked at this one. This one's really upsetting me because I have the answer to this. I actually, like I said, copied and pasted this into Visual Studio and overflowed it, and it's still. I don't know. The problem is with this one, I don't know what answers are looking for. Value of authenticated after exploit, is that one? Is it equals one? I don't know. It's so stupid. I went through 9 different variations. The password is obvious. So this one's gonna just. I think this one is broken. Lonely Bot. I worked on it a little bit. It's very hard. I don't know what the heck they want from me on that one. All right, so there you go. I'm up really high because I basically copied other people's decoders with Python and then just manipulated them and changed them enough to where I got them to work for myself. And I mean, I make it seem like it's easy, but it wasn't easy. Okay, you gotta know Python, or you gotta know how to code. You don't know how to code, then you're not gonna be able to solve these big ones. I mean, that's it says can you hack it? In reality, a lot of hackers can't code. So, but a lot of hackers can look for code and modify it, right? So that makes sense to me. Like, I mean, that makes sense to me. So the hacker is going to look for a code, I would think, and if he was smart, download it and then modify it enough to get it to work for his purpose or her purpose. That's so that makes sense to me. So yeah, I guess that is hacking. And people call them script kiddies. I don't even know what the hell a script kiddie is. So a script kiddie to me is somebody that takes a script, doesn't know what it's doing at all, and then runs it, and then goes, "Oh, it worked." Okay, so um, that makes sense. Okay, I mean, if you're gonna degrade somebody, but the reality is the outcome is still the same. Okay, whether that person understands how to read the code or not, he's still hacked into your system, or she's still hacked into your system. So it doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. That's just a stupid digger, script kiddie. But what I did isn't a script kiddie because I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what the code is doing. I know exactly what I'm reading. And then basically, I was only downloading decoders. So I wasn't trying to I didn't use any scripts or anything like that for actual hacking. I was just decoding. All right, so let's move on. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys how I solved this last network one because I think it's pretty interesting. It's not too hard. I guess if you do this networking, you get 45 points, which is not bad. That's 45 points. And I mean, if you can figure this out, I mean, this is something that I think it's pretty cool. I think it's cool. So this third one, check the WPA2 password using PCAP. So this is basically, and it's only been solved 400 times. If you look at what the rest of these, like this one's, oh, I'm sorry, probably not that one, but this one's been solved 1,000 times, Codebreaker. This one's been solved 128 times. This one's been solved 100 times. So apparently people have solved that one a lot of times, and it makes sense because that's basically just a program where you run. This one's been solved 208, 2,000 times, 400 times. So this one's only been solved 420 times, which is, you know, still pretty good. Anyways, this one is basically running through the steps on how to capture packets with Wireshark, which you're going to do if you're hacking, and or getting the PCAP file, understanding how to um, extract information from a PCAP file, which I think is great. This is a good skill to have. 30 points. They should have gave you 100 for that one or 50. You know what I'm saying? But I guess they don't care on here. 30 points for that. I mean, that's stupid. But anyways, um, let's run through the steps on how I did that. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys the steps. So they give you this PCAP file, right? So you don't have to capture packets with Wireshark, but they give you this PCAP file. So I'm going to open this PCAP file in my Kali Linux. So all I did was basically download the PCAP file from that. Okay, and it's on there. It's a little PCAP file. You'll see it. And then I transferred it to my Kali Linux box. Okay, so this is the PCAP file. I guess they captured a bunch of stuff. So on here, they wanted, so on this, they wanted three things. They wanted the SSID. They wanted the the MAC address of the sender, and then they wanted the password in the PCAP file. All right, so you're going. All right, that's easy enough. Let me see. So we're looking at. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up my. You're going, okay, that's easy enough. So you open up the PCAP file in your Kali Linux, you just double click on it, and it already opens up Wireshark because it knows it's a Wireshark file. Okay, it's a PCAP file. And so you're looking through it, and you're like, all right, well, let me see. Where am I going to get? So this first one is the 802.11. That's your wireless, right? It's your Wi-Fi. Look, and then if you look already up here, even at the top, without even looking through this stuff, your SSID is hacked me for fun one. So there you go. There's your first answer. So what I did was just took my I took a little thing and I put SSID, MAC, and WPA. Okay, and these are the answers because I have to write stuff down like that. Okay, now, so the first one is hack me for fun. I put that in there. See, SSID, hack me for fun. Okay, that one was the easy one. The second one is the MAC address, so we need to find out. Mr. Poe, be quiet. Tangapo, no, be quiet. So now we're looking at. We're gonna keep moving down here, and we're gonna look for uh, MAC addresses. Okay, and if you don't know what a MAC address looks like, you need to Google that. So here's another one where it says the hack me for fun one SSID, and we're gonna support it traffic indication. Let's see what's that. Okay, it might not be in this one, so let's go to the next one. This TP link technology. So this one has your SSID and it might have your WPA in it too, but let's look for the MAC. Okay, so the MAC's going to be in this one because it's an EAPOL, right? Protocol. You know what that is? Google it too. So now we're looking. Okay, look. So receiver MAC address. But it said it wanted the transmitter MAC address, right? And so here you go, transmitter address. I think it did literally say transmitter address, MAC address, or uh, band something anyway. So yeah, so this is the answer. So it's 7C dot dot or what is this, a colon? I can't remember. I'm not good with these. Anyways, 8BCA. So this is your answer right here, right? And so I had both of them. So I had this one or I had this one. This is the receiver, but it's just this one, right? And all right. So now we're gonna look for the password. Okay, you see this 802.1x authentication? It's gonna be there, right? And it's telling you the version, the length is not key, length, key, RSA key 2. Here it is, right? There's your. Now this is it. This is a WPA key nonce, right? So good luck trying to crack that. So I tried. I took that string and I ran it through a bunch of different stuffs. I'm sure you can, if you got skills, you probably could. I don't know, but it's a nonce, right? So it's basically a hash, I guess. This might be hex. I'm sure it is, right? But it's got an extra little nonce on it that they add to have give it extra security. And I ran that through. I guess let me see. You probably could run that. Let me try. I guess you could run that through. No. I ran it through hash cracker, and it didn't. Nothing happened. Yeah, I ran it through hash cracker, and nothing happened. So I mean, it's got you're gonna have to attack this a different way, right? So what I did is that I Googled what tools can crack a WPA key nonce, and sure enough, you can use of course, you can use a Hashcat, right? Like I said, my Hashcat on this VM has no power because this VM doesn't have too much power on it. It's just for educational purposes. But um, there's a tool called. Let me see what it's called. So this is where the research comes in, right? I don't know how to research things. So I looked up this guy right here, and so I just basically looked up cracking WPA with Hashcat, right? WPA2, and this guy uses hex tools. Okay, and he goes by step on how to crack it, but it's a little bit different. Like I said, people have their own ways. It's not going to work on yours. So, but this hex tools. So I downloaded this hex tools for my Kali VM, and apparently it takes your capture, right? And that's what I have. And then it looks for, it says we need to extract required data convert format hash. So it takes you the data and it looks for like hex hashed passwords. And so that was like, man, that's awesome. That's exactly what I want to do. And then it outputs a file, and then you run it in Hashcat. Okay, so that's what I did. So basically, what you do is you you take that. Let me see right here. Okay, so I ran. If you guys follow my channel, you guys know. I mean, you're following me. You're following me. Right. So here it goes. Here's. So first, I installed this hex tool because I didn't have it. So you got an app install. Hex tool. Go back a little bit, pause the video, and then it'll show you what tool. It's the hex something tool. Yeah, hex capping tool. It's right there. Anyways, um, installed it, and then I ran the. Here's the command to run the pcat file that we have, and it goes through. Here's your destination. Hashes.txt is the output. WO, that's output. I want to put it to hashes.txt, and this is what it found in there. It found one, and there's your WPA2. There's your password, right, for your Wi-Fi. There's your Wi-Fi password, man. It's awesome. I love it. Okay, so now it's this. So this is now Hashcat can actually read this. Okay, like I said, my Hashcat on my Kali VM sucks. It probably could decode that because I can guarantee you I already know it's an easy password that's whatever. So it probably wouldn't use too much CPU, but in reality, you're gonna need something with some power. You can't drive a hoverboard on water. You need power. All right. So then, you guys don't know where that's from. You guys too young. All right. Anyway, so then we're gonna take. Oh yeah. So it's got that file pumped out. Here's the file, hashes.txt. Now I took that from here and I moved it over to my main what do you call it, right? My main computer, and I've got hash. Actually, you guys got to Google Hashcat for Windows. You can have Hashcat on Windows now. It's pretty awesome. So I have Hashcat on my Windows. Okay, so the guy on that website gives you actually the um the command, but you can look up the commands, but he gives you the command to run the Hashcat on your Windows, right? Because he's got a .exe file, .exe extension. But you don't in your Kali, you're not going to use that .exe. It's not going to know what that is. You're just going to use Hashcat. But anyways, the command was Hashcat xe dash m 2200 and then dash w3, whatever that is. You can dash Hashcat help for that. You'll know what all that is. And anyways, here's the destination, and I just took this Hashcat file, replaced it in my directory where I run my Hashcat, and I ran it, right, and I ran it against RockU. So I have RockU in there. RockU's gonna have a ton, as you know, of dictionary of common passwords, right? I don't know. I think it's got like 5 million or something. I can't remember what Rocky has, but there's smaller ones too. There's different ones. You got to have your own little Rocky.text, or you can make your own text. I don't know, shit. If you want to sit there and write as many passwords you think people use, I don't know. Anyways, Rocky.text, and there's a bunch of other ones that hackers have that you can use, but I used Rocky, and I ran it, and it cracked it. So, um, yeah, so it's running against Rocky, and boom, here you go. So it actually gave me the SSID too answer, because it's going through and it's trying to find like strings. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, hack me for fun, and then look, here's your password, and the password is one of the ones that people use all the time. Where you change that. I've used this a long time ago, and this is the one we actually use in school. Like when you're learning, they use this one in school a lot. It's the P, capital P with the A at sign, dollar sign W 0 RD password, and there's a password. So it cracked it, and it found the password. Now, and so you enter that in. So the answers to that one, I guess, since this is only 30 points, they should have made it 50 or 100, and then I wouldn't have told you the answers. It would have just showed you I did it. But that's exactly how I did it. So SSID is hacking for fun. Your MAC is this, is the MAC address, and your password is that one. And you enter it just like that. You got to have these double dots or colons or whatever the heck they're called. Yeah, colon, whatever. Semicolon? Colons? Man, I don't even know what those are called. Uh, my brain's not working right now. Anyway, so you got to enter it just like this. And I had to do that about 3 different times because I didn't know what. That's the only thing, you don't know what format, but I figured it out, and then there's the password. So there's your answer to that one. That one wasn't that easy. I had to do a lot of steps, and if you, like I said, if you don't have a lot of power allocated to your VM, or if you don't know, which tools to use to crack it and all that stuff, um, you're gonna be stuck in that for a while because you'll see the two answers, but you won't be able to get that password cracked. Okay, and then yeah, like I said, if you need to have some CPU power, but not on this one. This one was easy because I mean it was literally probably the third one on the Rocky list that it ran through, and it was like, oh, it's this one. So yeah, that's how you do that. Um, Let me see. So that was the networking. Networking's done, and I did some of these big ones. Yeah, so I was at 1005, and then I did that networking, and I'm at 35. And that was just today. I'm probably gonna look through some more of these to see if I can. So this Enigma one, people have written Enigmas, Python scripts for this, but I don't know enough about Enigma, so I'm gonna have to do some research because the code, when I look at it, has like rotor shifts and all kinds of stuff that I have no clue. So even if I did download somebody else's code, I would not be able to manipulate it and change it to hack this in any way because I don't know how Enigma and crypto works. You get what I'm saying? So this one I might work on this one next. This one I'm gonna have to do research on Enigma and see how what it is, right? So I might do crypto next, but I guess my friends wanted me to do all these programming ones, so um, I guess I'll finish these two and then that Enigma. So I mean, there's so many in here that you know, like I said, I haven't even got down to this one, any of these yet. Versus engineering. I haven't even looked at these actually. I looked at this one for like 10 minutes, and this is just a an RE stands for re encoding, I think. So this one shouldn't be too hard. It's only been solved 132 times. Defeating debug. See, I haven't even looked at these, so yeah. I guess that's what I'm gonna do next is this program. So if you guys like this video, like and subscribe. Let me know. If you want the resources I use, the codes I used, or you need to, you want some questions on what codes I use because I've saved them all. I've got them. Let me know and I'll put you on the right path. I probably won't give you the answer, give you the code that I changed because I don't want to give people the answers to this. Um, but I can help you and guide you to where to find it, and you're gonna have to fix it yourself or manipulate it yourself because that took me a long time. So yeah, that was Hack the File, and I'm not gonna submit this in my email address yet until I get to the highest I think I can because like I said, I knocked this one out in a day. I want to. I mean, in like in an hour. I want to see how high I can actually get this score before I submit it. That way, if I get an interview or whatnot, when I get that interview, um, I'll look way better. All right, this is a quick little update. This is a couple days later. I have gone up to 1,285, and I'm done. Um, I have looked at the rest of these, and I don't feel like going down a rabbit hole on them. So I'm done. I finished most of the programming. This one I've been working on, but I'm just done with it. I did a lot of stuff on this website. I'm just tired of looking at the code. It's making me sick. So I mean, it was fun, but now I'm obsessing with it, and I'm done. I think I got a high enough score. I didn't get to the legend or one or the elite status, but that's fine. I'm good with that score. That's a pretty high score. I did a little bit of everything. This reverse engineering is what basically where I'm like, I'm done. I would have to go in and research a whole nother set of tools, reverse engineering tools like GDB and stuff like that. And I don't feel like taking a class in that right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like teaching myself that reverse engineering. I'm sure sometime I might maybe give this a break for a month and then come back and try to solve these. Would be fun. But for right now, I don't feel like getting into new tools like the reverse engineering techniques, and I mean it's just very, very, very complicated. It's very, very hard, and it's something that I have to devote a lot of time into studying. Right, and I'm sure people take a semester in reverse engineering in college, and then they spend about 3-4 months doing it. Me, I'm good. I'm not going to devote 3-4 months into doing all this stuff, and I've never really used any of these reverse engineering tools. I gave up on this one. It can kiss my butt. Got most of the crypto done. Enigma, I'm not going to worry about that. And I got all the SQL, so I got most of the important stuff, I think. The programming. Expectation, this is bugged or something, or I would have had that. This is the only I have no clue what they want. And I got most of the client side. So I got most of everything done. And I submitted my email address that says they will be contacting you. Um, and I'm done with this series. I'm burnt out on it, and I'm gonna move on to something else. I think that's a pretty good score, and that's where I'm gonna stop. So if you guys want any questions on how to do most of this stuff, I guess what I didn't explain is how I got. Oh, also I found a hack where I did something in the back code, refreshed it, or these guys changed this page because I remember networking was down lower. Anyways, they changed this page and then they gave me this one extra free 25 points again because this one wasn't solved yet. So since I solved it already, I solved it again and I got another 25 points on there. Um, I mean, it was pretty cool. I don't know which one I did, but I think I did this encoding one too. And yeah, I did this encoding one. This one was hard. I used Cyber Chef, okay, and you go in there and you use Cyber Chef, but it's got two layers of encryption. So it's got like a B2Z compression file, and then you gotta use char code to turn that in to decompress it. Then then you gotta decompress it that file, and then you gotta use char code and then or from hex or something. You gotta do a lot of stuff. I had it up here, but I took it off. This one was really hard. It had two different layers of encryption, but I got it luckily. And I don't know what else I got, but um, yeah, it's done. All right, that was Hack the File, and I'm done with this series. I hope you enjoyed it.